Yeah, everyone, this is Thermite, and this is Souboutei. At least chapter 2, maybe more. Let's see. So, I said I wasn't going to pick up Souboutei, but I figured, you know what? It seems interesting enough. I was actually quite I don't know. It felt like a series where when I was reading it, I didn't really say anything, but then when I re-listened to it, and someone actually pointed out to me later on Discord that yeah, my reaction to that was about the same length as the other two things I'd reacted to in that episode chapter ones. So I guess I'll just give it a shot. So if I recall correctly, I remember a place called Souboutei. No, okay. So I remember chapter one pretty clearly, actually. Like maybe not the individual small details that are probably going to add up over time, but I do recall. Okay, so the Prime Minister of Japan and the Defense Minister are Atsushi and Shin, who are like these two kids who once like snuck into Souboutei with a female friend whose name I don't remember. She was kidnapped, or like the house basically just ate her. Later on, they became the the Prime Minister and the Defense Minister decided to bomb Souboutei. Before that point, we had Takoha and I believe I don't remember his name. I don't remember his dad's name. I know the kid's name was Rokuro. I probably should have reread chapter one, but that's not how I roll. Anyways, so Rokuro and his dad were moving into like not Souboutei itself, but like a small house on the same premise as Souboutei, or the same premises, like the same plot of land. The house ate Rokuro's dad. Rokuro was like traumatized by it. Meanwhile, we have Takoha, who is a like failed slash aspiring artist, maybe mangaka, but I think he's just an artist at this point. Like he wanted to make just a children's book, and he's kind of an auteur, not exactly the greatest. He doesn't come out with very like sellable material. Anyways, Souboutei gets bombed. Souboutei launches a counterattack even with a plane that included like some sort of horrifying like eldritch abomination, but it also included a strange person like with a sword who may also come from Souboutei. So I think that's where we're at right now. Let me look at the previous, like the ending of the previous volume or previous chapter. Right. Destroy. Souboutei shall be destroyed. Right. Okay. That's where you left off. To be fair, this is the kind of series where, like, obviously there's going to be some pretty heavy continuity, but it's also a series where, as far as I know, like, all the characters that appeared in the first chapter may not even appear in this chapter. So, who knows? Both my apartment and my peace of mind were blown to smithereens. Ah, right. Okay, Taka Tsutomu. Seen what I have seen. Even after the full force of airstrikes, Souboutei still stands proud. This is a concept I really like. Like the fact that in chapter one, like, yeah, this is the first, like, self-bombing in Japanese history. And now they're even televising, like, they televised Souboutei being bombed and the fact that it's standing. And now we have the Prime Minister saying, hey, look, this haunted house is still there. Like, there is no, like, I'm sure there's a mystery aspect to the series, but, like, the mystery isn't, like, hidden from everyone else in Japan. Like, they're putting it right out there. Yeah. Like, I can understand the outrage that'll come out from this, too. Ed and Rokuro. Oh, okay. So this person is related to Rokuro and Rokuro's dad, or rather, this is Rokuro's brother, possibly sister. I don't know. I assumed brother, but I guess this could also be like a feminine hairstyle. Oh no, these are Amiko robes, aren't they? So this is most likely Rokuro's sister. God, I love the art so far. Like, it's very like a gag manga-esque, but it can also be very serious when it wants to be. I think that's a very like it's an interesting line to ride, especially for a series like this. Oh wow. Okay, this was filmed? This was on film? Holy crap. That is horrifying. Oh, that's right. God, that visual was so intense. If I were you, I'd be tempted to go exploring anyway. Like, obviously, he had no way of knowing what would have happened, but still. I could definitely see how he would consider this to be his fault. Anyone who likes kitties is a good person in my book, so that makes it, like, 10 times worse. I can't try to block out the fact that this is a small child who watched his father die and was then traumatized. It sounds so strange to think that, oh, if they didn't mention that he likes cats, I'd be able to block that away and be like, oh, well, whatever. Like, no, I wouldn't have had that reaction, but I guess it comes down to just, can you empathize with someone? even if something horrible happens to an innocent character or a character who you're supposed to feel sympathy for, if you can't fully empathize with them, then it is like it's surprisingly hard to buy into the pain and suffering that they're feeling. Especially if you read like a lot of series where like horrible things happen. It's very easy to say, "Oh, well, this isn't as bad as that other series." But just the fact that he likes kitties is deeply affecting me. I'll do her as a bunny girl and super realistic too. Oh boy. Wait, what? Come get some missing person they found 45 years ago. Wait, what? Huh. Like, we really don't know much about Takoha at all. He seems very foreign. Or not very. Actually, yeah, I would say very foreign. Like, not only does he have, like, blonde hair, but he's got, like, really broad shoulders. And, like, he's just generally a big guy. Like, this is very much a foreigner design. It's super surprising that he's, like, part of the ministry and also, like, specifically from PR. Missing flight 45 years ago, finally touched down at Haneda Airport. Right, it's... Takas. Oh, wow. So... Oh, man. So this kid might be like his, great uncle or so. Takahaseiichi 12. But from 45 years ago. Like, if this is someone related to him, like, they'd be, like, the brother, perhaps, of someone who is, like, 57. Oh, your grandfather's brother's son. It's a one-way mirror, but I absolutely believe now he's going to be able to see Taka. Or I should probably start using his first name now that there are multiple Takas. There we go. Holy crap. Wait, what? Oh wow, okay, so he's specifically attacking Souboutei, or like, this drawing of Souboutei. I really like that he only destroyed that one page too. Alright. If this is a barometer of like good characters in the series, if the common factor is they hate Souboutei and love cats, then I'm quite down for it. Once you find someone whose hands turn to drills, I think you've got your man. That's such a cool effect. Like, I really love that, like, you can still see all the, like, I don't even know what to call them, because it's not, like, individual fingers still, but it's just, like, I don't know, like, veins and stuff, I'd suppose. Okay, so, like, if I had to guess, I think it's fairly simple. I think the concept is literally, like, the reason why he has this grudge against Souboutei is literally just the house kidnapped him, or kidnapped his entire, plane. He was somehow the only survivor all this time, and now he also wants to destroy Souboutei. I mean, that's what I'm going off of right now. You call exploring, the police would call trespassing. Oh no, oh no. Oh god. This house is... You have to destroy it. Oh god. Take these pictures of your father's corpse and let me know when you've come to your senses. Holy crap, how, like, that is... Whoa. Just the way that is phrased is so blunt. Yeah, cruel is definitely a word I'd use for it. Oh my god. That is genius. Or not genius, but just like, I love the desperation of the shows. The fact that he's willing to not only crumple them up with both hands, but also bite down on a few of them. Shut up, I don't give a shit, you dumb shits! Like, it's a very cold, hard-boiled thing to do, but god, that is heartless, and also it probably won't work. Souboutei must be destroyed. Alright, that's pretty good. Like, he's gone from feeling completely numb and brain dead to, at the very least, he has, like, some direction now. He's mad. I mean, mad as an angry mad is probably a good place to go. Like, of the two different mads you could be, crazy mad's probably, like, if being angry mad keeps you from going crazy mad, then I think that's probably, like, that's alright. Oh, is that actually it? Is that how the chapter ends? Ah, oh, that is a fantastic end. Like, I'm sure it's not going to be in every single chapter, but I do love the constant hammering so far of just Souboutei must be destroyed. Also, in general, I am loving the use of white space in the series. Like, I haven't brought it up a lot, but I really do like that, like, there's so much space here that's just pure white. Or, like, I don't know, just, I like that, like, when things have to be dark or when there has to be a lot of shading, even then, like all these tentacles are white. They're not like overly designed. They're not overly shaded. I really do appreciate that. It gives it a lot of impact. Or like, the fact that this is all super shaded makes the white tentacles stand out. I really do appreciate it. It makes it very easy to read. Like just the way these are drawn, like I could definitely see this art style hurting my eyes if it was like if like there are a lot of scenes where there was like a lot of shading. But because there isn't, because of this like excellent balance on every single page, it makes it very easy to read. Like at no point have I been overwhelmed with what's on a page. I've been scared, I've been happy, I've been, terrified, I've been interested, but I've never like it's never made me go, "Oh, I don't like looking at this page." All the pages look good. And that is something that is like I don't know, I feel like that's really notable. Anyways, that's chapter 2. I guess I will just move on. Right, so they are related even though she has a different last name. I assume it's just like it's because she's a shrine maiden. Like she took on that last name because it's like the name of her temple. Okay. So this is promising at the very least. Oh, this is fantastic. Like you can really feel the sense of her just being like confused, but also growing less confused as we go on. Like I guess she's just less confused and more just like worn out. I couldn't stop the tears. Also, I really like how I assume she's trying to like hide her accent a little, but like it's still very visible. Dragon is apart with them. Rokuro, have you been alright? Okay. If they're divorced, that also explains why their names are separate. Or like why their last names are different. Oh, that's when oh my gosh, that is so cool. I assumed we were gonna have a small time skip, but that's really cool. Like, she's coming in right now at the end of the last chapter, while he's screaming, while Rokuro is like processing things, while he's slowly realizing, oh no, I shouldn't be like if I should feel anything right now, I should feel rage. Souboutei must be destroyed. Oh, it seems like she's realizing something. So this must be like an aspect of the curse. Oh my gosh. It's your great-great-granduncle. Oh, okay. So he came here because he smelled the stench of Souboutei. So I hope he doesn't end up killing him, though. I love how just out, like, not out there. Like, that's the wrong way of putting it. I like how just blatant the supernatural aspect of the series is. Like, it's not a series where supernatural stuff is commonplace, but it's a place where just anyone connected to Souboutei does not give a shit about hiding it right now. At least right now. Like, I assume in the past, they did. But right now, there is no time for that. Those who want to destroy Souboutei are just leaving it way out in the open. Which I think is really cool. Now drive, won't ya? Oh, this is awesome. Since when is turning your hands into drills a thing, though? Okay, that also confirms that just this isn't a normal thing for the possessed to be able to do. There are 3 types of god in this plane. 1, creator gods, 2, benevolent gods, and 3, the violent gods of the sword. Oh, that's a really cool line. Also, I really do like that it is just, like, it's part of her hair, but she doesn't have to, like, take down her bun in order to unsheath it. Like, she just keeps the scabbard in there. Wait a minute. Is he saying sister as if there is a blood relation? Or is he saying sister as in, like, like the title of Miko? Or something like that? Let's see. I think it might literally just be like, it's not even his blood relation, but it's Takaha's blood relation. Or no, it's Rokuro's blood relation. Oh my gosh. I am blowing through these chapters. Oh boy. It's gonna be hell once I catch up. Kurenai versus Seiichi. Congrats to whoever redrew this. This is so clean looking. That's such a weird way of drawing it. Like, not a bad way, but it's such an interesting way of doing it. Like, the fact that her spiritual energy is part of her, and it's like, it's represented by just her face. I mean, to be fair, this does explain why he can, like, when he turns his hands into drills, like, they also are able to, like, cut through things. So I guess it makes sense. Like, obviously, those drill hands are real hard. Otherwise, they'd be bleeding constantly. So I guess it does make sense that the rest of him is also equally hard. Oh, whoa. Is that his hair turning into the drill? It looks like it, because, like, it's raised right here. Although, I guess that could be, like, falling over to the side. But then where would the drill be coming from? Yeah, okay. Because he has both hands here, so it must be his hair. Either that or he's, like, pooping out the drill. Oh no. Oh no. I mean, he seems pretty unconcerned by it, so I don't think it'll be bad. Family should get along. Nothing is alright. That house ate my papa. I'm gonna get my revenge on Souboutei. Yeah, he is definitely, like, he's not in an okay mental state right now. Okay, that's really interesting. Like, I doubt he has much, like, knowledge of the, like, of the supernatural. But I think it is really cool that, like, through that fight, it wasn't just like a, two people who are going to eventually become allies or fighting situation. It was also specifically showing off that, okay, clearly, Seiichi is stronger than she is. My gosh, I cannot stop reading it. Okay, I'll pause for now, and I'll be back in a flash. All right, we are back. By the way, I just realized that I'm not reading it like with as 2-page spreads the way I usually do, and that's mostly just because I didn't want to download the chapters. Oh, that's so weird to say. But yeah, so I mean, this seems like a series that is okay to read like this. It's just not the preferred way that I like to read manga. In the future, I'll probably like once I do it chapter by chapter in the future, I'll probably like do it as spreads. But just for now, this is super convenient. Even if I do have like even if I can't see like all the art in one shot, which is bothering me a little bit. Also, was this a color page in the original? Like this something about the shading here feels like it was originally color. By the way, I didn't really like express it last time, but I really do like the dynamic we have now. Where Seiichi and gotta work on these names. Seiichi and Rokuro are both like they both want to destroy Souboutei, and so they've kind of had this strange team up, but no one else wants Rokuro to like do this because he has no powers. Or like he's gonna die pretty quickly if he tries to go into the mansion. Oh my gosh. This is fantastic. Also, yeah, I really do like the pairings we have because they're so strange and asymmetrical. Like apart from having one sibling, like the fact that they are both like related, but like apart from that, it's like they're super asymmetrical. I think that's so cool. Also, what in the world is happening here? Wait a minute, what? Wait a minute, what? Is Souboutei being destroyed? Because I mean, that looks like the signs being cracked. Hmm. They didn't have to go straight to explosives. Yeah. Like, what in the world? How? This could be the moment we've been waiting for. Oh, nope. Nope, not happening. Holy crap. Okay, that's cool. So, like, when this was written, I assumed it was like just, he's in charge of natural disasters. And because this is like, Souboutei is kind of a natural disaster, he was kind of like just thrown onto it. But okay, no. So his department is specifically for like the occult sort of stuff or like supernatural stuff. That's pretty cool. Again, it's very surprising though that we have someone who looks very foreign working like not just in a Japanese government position, but specifically in a position like this. Seriously, this cat picture is so it's kind of thing that wouldn't have been super cool if I didn't know the context of it. Now that I have the context, I really like it. Like, if we ever get a color version, I assume this is just black and white. Like, I assume it is literally the picture we saw, like, really big in chapter 1. But, like, I might somehow turn this into a, like, a background for my phone or something. Oh, I didn't notice that. I actually didn't notice that. Morita's a cool dude. Oh. Yaroigi. Okay, so we've got the cool dude and then the lady who has zero chill, as the kids say nowadays. Oh, so also, what was that shot we had with her like slumped over him, like on the bench? Like I assumed those two things were happening at the same time, which is why I was so surprised. But it seems like that was just a maybe it's a flash forward, or maybe it's just like I don't know. Either it's a flash forward or it's just like a thematic shot. Suke Kurenai. Right. So I guess I'll just call her Kurenai. This is also really nice because it means that like I can just call Rokuro Rokuro and I can call her Kurenai. Or I guess Rokuro is his given name, isn't it? But I do like the fact that they have different full names, so it's not like I won't confuse them too often, as opposed to like Seiichi and Takoha. No, Takoha is their given name. Seiichi and Tsutomu. I mean, I'm sure I'll get it in a bit. It's just I am awful with names. When someone asks you something politely, you answer them. Okay, that's what this shot was. I do like that they're like expressing this though. I think this means that in the future they won't have too much like uncomfortable tension. Like right now he is letting her know like, "Hey, you're scary. You stabbed someone right in front of me." And she's just venting like, "Hey, you're a dick. You need to answer me right away." Like they're seeing each other's true selves really really early on. Ah, this is a good point. Like she wants to know from him specifically because she can't go after them because she has no idea where they're going apart from probably Souboutei. But this is also like it shows how much he cares for Okuro in his own respects. Aww. These two panels are fantastic. I love how she can go from being like a very stoic, like badass looking character to someone who is very, very expressive. I mean, everyone can do that in this art style. I think that's so cool. Like, it's not as extreme as One Piece, but it reminds me. I guess it's more like Dragon Ball, sort of. Like, there's a lot of series that have sort of like not a lot of series I've read recently, but there are a lot of series that have like a gag manga aspect to them, and because of that, the characters have like they can have very intense expressions or like very exaggerated expressions without seeming too strange. I like it's a very simple trick, but it's a really really cool one, especially for a series like this that is like that oscillates from like not slice of life stuff, but I guess like downtime stuff to like really extreme stuff and back. I'm a loser. Oh my gosh, that was a fantastic page. Aww. Stupid trains in their lines. Oh, these two are fantastic together. Oh man, I hope eventually we get like a Seiichi gag shot of some sorts. What kind of dog is that? That's no dog. I mean, I guess he works better as a straight man in his own aspects. Like the fact that everyone else is reacting to him doing something very stoically. Like that in itself is pretty funny. Your feet soft. That is really nice though. Also, I like that he specifically robbed like the most thuggish character in the series so far. Also, Shuon Head. Shuon Head's always a good look. Man, I really hope we get to see a little of Seiichi's like time between when he was kidnapped and like when he came out, because clearly like he's very used to this body right now, to the point where like he didn't even consider the fact that perhaps like perhaps Rokuro's feet are going to be easily bruised if I do something like this. It just didn't occur to him. Honestly, I guess Rokuro himself didn't really think about it. Rakuro. Oh, I honestly didn't think that would come into play. Like, I really do like series where the gags are also part of the series itself, or like the gags are canon. It's not like they just do something really goofy and then it's like, well, let's forget about that. Like, that was just a goof. It doesn't play into anything. I really like series where just even goofy moments are like things that are actually happening in the series, which sounds obvious. That sounds like something that every series should do, but a lot don't. Let's go to Souboutei. True, if you can ride on top, you never have to pay for tickets. Oh man, we're already on chapter 6. Uh, I might stop this for now. You know what? Nah, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Because I don't want to stop. The only reason I feel like I want to stop is because, oh, maybe I should do another one. But nope, let's keep going. Let's just catch up right now, here and now. No regrets. Seiichi and Rokuro. Okay, that's really cool. Like, I was trying to see if we had a Kurenai and Stomu chapter, but we didn't. Okay. I keep wanting to call him Takoha, but I know that if I like that's going to get confusing after a while if I keep calling him Takoha. So I'm trying to use Stomu, but no one really calls him Stomu. I really do like how normal Rokuro is. Like he does genuinely feel like just a kid who is doing all sorts of strange things he's never done before. And like it's not that this isn't a strange scene. It's just I can imagine a lot of series just kind of having a kid go up here and then just like playing it off as well. This is happening, so let's not like pay attention to the fact that this is a very strange thing to do. Anything you can bear for 15 minutes, you can bear forever. Huh. Okay. That's also a really that's a really cool piece of wisdom. I don't know if I fully agree with it, but it seems pretty good. Like I can say that you know what? No, that is correct. I've just never applied it before. I was gonna say, like the last thing I tried where like I could bear it for 15 minutes, but then after that I just gave up was epilation. I find it very, very hard to epilate any part of my body. And like I could do it for like 20 minutes straight, but then after a point I just kind of like said, no, I don't want to do this anymore. It hurts too much. But I didn't like it's not that it hurts too much, it's just that I wanted it to stop hurting. But honestly, like because I was able to put up with it for so long, it would have been fine. I could have kept going. It's just I personally didn't want to. And I guess that is important to note. Like, if you can do it for 15 minutes, then you can handle it forever. He's just starting to come to that realization, which is fair enough. Like, he went from being just completely stunned, completely unresponsive, to, finally coming into this idea of, like, okay, I'm going to get mad. I should be mad at Souboutei. That is the feeling I should have right now. And now he's finally starting to, like, come off of that, like, adrenaline high, I suppose. Now he's finally starting to realize, wait a minute, this is probably not okay, is it? Oh no. Is this guy a monster? Seiji. Name tag. Oh no! Oh no! He's missing the name tag! Oh, that's right! Yeah, they would have just taken off all of his clothing to give him this. But he wouldn't. That's so weird. Like, again, imagine spending 45 years with the same clothing and then suddenly not having it. That'd be rough. Actually, that might be very bad for him now that I think about it. Like, that name tag is probably the reason why he knows his name still. That might be the reason why he can still say his name, even. The sweetest, most loyal little brother. Aw, that sounds cute. You can't kill them just because they're not cute. Aw, that is so cute. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's a bunny shirt. I love it. Oh, I didn't think about it, but is that why they broke up then? Two daggers? Hmm. Okay. I like how mad she is about it. I'll have you know that spiritual weapons are permitted under Section 15 of that law. That's probably correct. I don't know for sure, but that sounds like a thing that would be allowed in Japanese myth or like in Japanese law. Like, trying to think about it. I know there are exceptions in Canadian law for stuff like that. Like, I'm thinking specifically of Sikhs and the fact that like all Sikhs have to carry a knife with them at all times. But as of now, like these days, it tends to be more of just a decorative knife. Like it's symbol. It's a symbolic knife. but usually it's like it's actually like welded into the scabbard, and you can't even draw it if you even if you want to. Or like some people have like knives that aren't sharp, but like I believe that under the Canadian like religious code, they're allowed to still have them, even though that could be considered a concealed weapon. It's like, well, because it is religious, it's okay. And then it's just understood that also these aren't real weapons. So I guess that would make sense if you had like maybe not katana specifically, but like I could definitely imagine like shrine maiden weapons that are permitted for the sake of just doing like traditional dances and whatnots. Even if they are technically weapons, like because they aren't used as weapons, they'd be permitted. Yeah, this is about right? This is exactly the shot that was used before. Absolutely, no exaggeration. This is what it looked like. Also, I really like the use of subhuman as opposed to superhuman here. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. Like, it is something that's, like, in universe. Like, how do I put this? Because it is a supernatural series, you might be more inclined to think, oh, clearly their dad is being unreasonable. But, like, this kind of thing isn't commonplace in the universe. Like, right now, no one gives a shit about, like, hiding the concept of Souboutei. And just in general, I assume that people just, don't believe in magic, or they don't believe in that, like, spirituality or, like, spiritual beings or whatnot. Like, it's mostly, like, our worlds. So I could definitely see this problem of, like, imagine if you have, like, a mother and a father, and the mother's like, hey, I think our daughter should become a nun. She has a really great, like, a gift for nunnery, or nunning. What's the verb of doing nun things? I assume it's like nunning, because a nunnery is like a location. In any case, like, imagine that, and then the dad's like, no, I want her to be independent. I want her to have her own life. Like, you would obviously be with the dad in that aspect. I could definitely see that, but, here. I mean, also, she would just have to, like, even if they didn't break up, she would still have to just be away from the family for 3 years. So we could still have this situation. Also, I really do like that, like, we didn't skip over anyone's explanations of things. Like, everyone's learning about things as we're seeing them learn about them. At this point in the series, it does feel like I feel like that's really important to establishing their characters and, like, just developing them in general. So I really do like that we're taking it a bit slow. I wonder what he saw. Like, because we have this very familial aspect of the series so far, I would like to say it's like it's my parents. But it can't be. Like, it can't be anything that Rokuro would have known. Like, it can't be Rokuro's grandparents, or it can't be, like, because otherwise he wouldn't say it's my. It has to be something that relates just to his dad, or like his dad's past. After sucking Papa, I saw the wall go gulp. Right. Of course he would run. There's no reason why he would, like, want to stay and fight or whatever. I'm not a ghost. Yeah, what are you? And where did you come from? Please answer this. It's okay, dude. We've been over this. Okay, so it feels like this is going to be more of a, like, more of a mystery for the series. I thought that was just an elaborate prank. Really? The worst prime minister in history. I mean, this does feel rather realistic. Like, if our current prime minister said, hey, we're bombing Canada, or not, even if he didn't say it, if he just, like, without saying anything, just bombed somewhere in Canada and said, look, it's a haunted house, I imagine that we would have exactly this type of outcry. Like, currently like, there's nothing really wrong with what he does now, and people are still, like, crapping all over him. I'm pretty sure people would be like, no, Trudeau needs to get out of the, fuck, what do we call it? I don't, man. I genuinely do not remember our version of the White House. I think we just use the address, but I don't remember the address right now. Anyways, like, I could definitely see people shitting on Justin Trudeau if he did something like this. I hope he just says, Souboutei must be destroyed. Like, without, like, responding to any of those things. He's just fully set on the destruction of Souboutei. Also, it is really cool that we know that, okay, it just regenerated when no one was looking. The reward will be $248 million. Holy crap. It's like Assassination Classroom, except instead of a teacher, it's a haunted house. Also, this seems like a very strange way to put it, because it implies that like one person can do it if a bombing can't. And I imagine that is true, actually. Like, it probably is, like, the house has a weak point that can only be accessed if you go into it as a person and like you brave all of its horrors and whatnot. But I wonder how people are going to handle it. Like, I could definitely imagine a lot of, like, assassins, quote unquote, deciding to go into the house for the sake of, getting the reward money and then being just destroyed by it. I do like, again, that, like, after all this, we're not going to continue with the misunderstandings of Tsutomu's life, or like she's not going to misunderstand him anymore. She's going to give him the respect he deserves for someone who like knew this person for one day and was willing to stand up for him. Aww. Also, Kurenai is really growing on me again because she is willing to admit that she was wrong when she understands the full story. Like, she is a pretty cool character. Okay, that is fair enough. Like, as far as we know, Rokuro has no like abilities that would help him take out Souboutei. He's just mad at the house. And even like being mad at it is mostly just a reaction. Like, it's mostly just his, post mind break, outlet, basically. It's what's keeping him sane right now. So I don't think it's a good idea for him to go into Souboutei again. At least not now. Like, if I had to come up with the ideal situation right now, I think it might just be like doing research and figuring out the house's weak points. Although it might be something where you just have to go in. Like, there's no real way to figure it out, but we kind of want both of you to come. Oh my gosh, that's really cool. Oh, I didn't even consider that. But okay, so he can be the cartographer, basically. Like, when they, like, assuming we get a party of people who can all go into Souboutei all at once and, like, basically adventure through the house, then he can be the cartographer. I still don't know what Rokuro could possibly do at this point, apart from being just, I don't know, the average Joe. But then, like, Kurenai can be our, like our blessed fighting force. Seiichi can be our, like, possessed fighting force. Like, because they both have different abilities, I imagine, like, there's some enemies that Seiichi will be able to kill that Kurenai can't, and vice versa. And then, I assume Rokuro has to come, right? But no, Kurenai probably wouldn't want him to come. So, it might be just to those three, and then maybe someone else we haven't seen yet. Like, I don't think three people would be a good party. It's got to be at least 4. Like, we need a medic or something. Where's the democracy here? To be fair, even if it wasn't a democracy, everyone else would be voting against, so. Still, the fact that she wants him to stay out of Souboutei so much means he's probably going into Souboutei, right? For 45 years. So ever since he died, or ever since he disappeared, I suppose. Oh my gosh, what a cool transition. Oh my gosh, he was so cute. Also, I guess that means that his hair went, like, white from stress, I suppose. Either stress or maybe age, but it doesn't feel like he aged at all. Or it could be like he aged, but his body didn't change. So, like, he might have, like, the internals of an old guy. I don't know. I guess it makes more sense if he didn't change at all. But, like, I guess the white would be just stress then, but, like, the rest of his body didn't age. Or, like, he can be hurt, but he can't age. Something like that. Dilapidated house always really gets me. Like, specifically in a situation like this, where you can see what it used to be like before. Because, like, if it's a haunted house or something, then it's always like, like, it's scary, but it doesn't feel like a place someone lived in before. Or, like, if it's a lab or something, then it's like, okay, this isn't a place where someone lived. It's a place where someone, did stuff. It was like a workplace. But something like this, where clearly, like, it feels like it was once a kitchen full of happiness. Like the pattern on the pots here, for instance. Or just, like, I guess all the cutlery. Like, cutlery is something you generally, or not cutlery, I mean, dishes, sorry. Like, the fact that all the dishes are mostly, like, packed up there. They all look kind of nice, even though they haven't been used for 45 years. Or like the teapot's like tipped over, but you can still see that could be dirt or it could be like a pattern. I also really do like I assumed that these two girls were going to tease him or something. Just I don't know. I don't know why. I think I've seen a lot of series where like random schoolgirls just do something like that. But I really do like how honest they are. Like they were telling him basically a ghost story, but they truly believe it. Like they are honestly really freaked out by this house. They're trying to give him like genuine good advice. Yeah, Seiichi's body was warm. Whatever he is, he's not a ghost. Like he probably is possessed. Or something to that extent. Also, they said children before, and this part of it's torn out, so it's possible that Seiichi had like another brother. I mean, he had to, right? Because, or no, because the connection is like a grand uncle, right? So technically, he doesn't have to have another sibling for him to still be related to Tsutomu. But he might. I think he does. He probably definitely does here. Like, if we get the rest of this picture at some point and he doesn't have a sibling, I'll be super, super surprised. So yeah, there are ghosts here. I really like the way this is drawn, too. Like, it's not even that the ghosts are shaded. It's just, it feels like they are made out of shading. Like, especially this shot. Like, I imagine we're probably losing some detail from the cleaning process, because I believe they used... Do they use physical rods for Souboutei? I don't know. But like, especially this one where like they're just like little dots here and there, or like this one, you can kind of see what looks kind of like an iris there. Just the way these are drawn is so good. And like even if there isn't a face directly there, just their very presence darkens the area with shading. Oh, that is so cool. Oh, they're going in with him. Or like, they're trying to drag him out. Is he gonna kill the ghosts? Is that where we're going with this? We've already been cursed by the ghosts here. Oh, what? What? So they weren't just passing by. The arm that rends. Ah. Seriously, this is such a cool effect. So also, that is super cool if they are like, if they're cursed and they're forced to stay here. And so like the reason why they're here is because like even though they are cursed and they can't leave, they're trying to get people to leave. Or like they're trying to push people out before they can get any further in. Okay, so they're not forced to stay here. It's just they happen to be crossing anyways. But because they know of like the fear of the house, they chose to like go in and to stop him from going in further. Stop messing up my house. Yeah, he is mad at the ghosts. Can you do it? Can you drill through ghosts? Get out. Holy crap. Yeah, he's definitely doing it. Oh, that's right. I almost forgot about it. But yeah, when he was fighting Kurenai, his drill was able to like absorb the blessings of her sword. Or like, no, it was like, I think it was like robbing the spiritual energy from her specifically, not even just the sword. So yeah, I guess it does make sense that he'd be able to do the same thing. The thing that reminded me of it was the fact that you can see like faces in the spiral here. The same way that you could see like copies of Kurenai's face in the spiral when he was absorbing her energy. Oh, that's so cool! It's like the vacuum from Luigi's Mansion, except it's a drill. Oh my gosh. Are the ghosts cracking or is it his hand? I think it's them. Because yeah, you can see him like being shredded apart. Oh my gosh, I've never thought of the idea of a ghost cracking. Or like a ghost being like something that is brittle, something that can shatter like that. Oh, that is so cool. Yeah, I think he did. I think he literally just broke the curse. Also, this was such a cool idea. The fact that he went back to their house and like, what happened to him didn't curse the house. It's the fact that other people went there and started like killing themselves. And then over that, like, the curse grew and grew and grew. And, because that curse was blighting his old house, he destroyed it. It's like, that is so cool. I know I just recapped basically what happens, but just this entire like mini arc has been so cool. I don't think I've seen a series do something like that before. Or like I've seen series where like the main character goes to like, their old like childhood place and it's haunted, and then they have, they've gained like holy powers or something, and they finally exercise it and they like lay the spirits of their parents to rest or something like that. But I've never seen it done like this, where it's just a separate curse. Or, because of just the rumor of what happened to him, it left a curse here. And, people started like feeding it by killing themselves and whatnot. I hope he can take solace in this though. Like, even if you can't see his mom, like he just helped someone else. He just like fixed someone else's life. Aw. Okay, that's good. That's really good. That's like an Akagi smile. Just just a little bit here turns up to let you know it's a smile. Also, I really love that he keeps calling him Rakuro now. Okay, so this also solidifies what he can do. Like, if we do what I expect, like if we are going to get a 4 or 5 like person party to go into Souboutei, he can be the vacuum cleaner. Or like, he can do the sucking and Kurenai can do the slashing. Alright, that's volume 1. Oh my gosh, that was super cool. Because I'm not going to do it in volumes, because I'm just going to do them as they come out, I guess I'll read the next chapter as well. But that is a really cool ending to the volume. Also, I like just how genuine these kids were. Like, in the end, they weren't bound here or anything. Like, they were two people who genuinely just, something horrible happened to them in the mansion. They tried to protect Rokuro from it, and then due to like not due to protecting Rokuro or trying to drag him away, but just because they bothered to go in, they saw firsthand that that Seiichi was able to break the curse. And now like we now have like, a group of characters who can vouch for Seiichi. You can say like, yeah, he's a cool dude. He broke the curse here on this haunted house. Or, on this haunted house, not on the haunted house. Although I guess this was a haunted house in its own right, sort of. Like it was a house that was haunted. Or a house that had a curse on it, at the very least. Ah, this was so good. Like, as of Volume 1, I guess I can just say that it's a fantastic series, and I'm absolutely going to keep reading it. As I will now prove by reading another chapter. Oh boy. Ooh, that's a really cool, like, volume cover. I didn't really pay attention to the first volume cover. Let's look at it if it's there. I guess that's what this is, right? Yeah, I didn't really know anything about it when I first looked at it, so I didn't really say anything about it. But this is really cool that we get like this black and white Souboutei, and then we get Seiichi on the cover. So volume 2's, so we've got Kurenai still in front of Souboutei. Ah, this is such a cool design. I really like the paint splatter aesthetic of it too. Like, just in general, I'm a big fan of designs that look like they're effortless, or like designs that look like they're just messy. Like, oh, anyone could do something like that. But then when you really stop to look at it, you realize just how intricate it is, or how much detail went into making it look like as if there was no detail there. If that makes any sense. Like, how much concerted effort went into making something look messy without it really just being a mess. That's a lot of tax-free money. Sorry, let's look at this again. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Fantastic. This also, like, I would never imagine. No, that's a lie. I've definitely started in the middle of series. I couldn't imagine like starting a mystery series like Souboutei, or like a series with a mystery aspect, and not starting it at the start, because it's super continuity heavy, or like it's important to like understand all the characterization and whatnot. However, this could be a pretty cool way to like, if someone decided to just read volume 2, if for some reason someone was like, oh, I don't want to read volume 1 of Souboutei, like I'm pretty sure I would screw them over in the end because of all the like I'm sure there were lots of like little hints and stuff and like things that are gonna be called back to there. But I do appreciate any series that can have like other jumping on points. Like chapters where it's clear that okay, if someone wanted to just pick up the series with this chapter, they could just get right on. It's something that I would rarely ever like utilize, but I appreciate seeing it. It was later testified that was no longer a person. Okay, so not only is it just scary in general, but it seems to be specifically like the tentacle thing isn't just something that happened once. Like, it wasn't just Rokuro's dad. It wasn't just this. It's a common occurrence. Or, like, if there are multiple things in Souboutei that attack people, the tentacles seem to be, like, the main thing. They've been, like, we've specifically seen them in, like, anytime someone has tried to enter Souboutei, or anytime Souboutei is attacked, by, like, like, whenever Souboutei has attacked someone, including, like, going in and then also the plane, the tentacles have been involved at some points. Like, it's not just a general scary thing. It feels like it has an MO. Like, there are rules to how Souboutei works, and the tentacles seem to be part of it. Oh, that is gruesome, though. That is intensely gruesome. Okay, so that also explains why they can't do, like, analysis on the tentacles. So he dissolved. I assume anyone else attacked by it, like, their corpse would have dissolved. Or, like, if they had tentacles, I mean, they would dissolve. But if someone was just killed, then they're just dead. Okay. So that's also why we eat, like, before the bombing. Oh, that's really cool. Oh my gosh, I just realized. So, because it's like anyone who went into Souboutei would not be able to talk about it, or like they wouldn't be able to remember it. But specifically because it was a big bombing, like Souboutei can't cover it up. It can cover up like, anything that happens within it. Like a lot of like not a lot of haunted house series, but like there's a lot of horror things I've read where like, at the very end, or to prevent people from figuring out the secret or whatever, their memories are altered by whatever the scary thing is. But I think that the bombing, like regardless of whether it was going to work or not, it was planned out specifically to draw a ton of attention to Souboutei so that Souboutei couldn't like wipe everyone's memories. Or like it created a memory that makes Souboutei like a secondary factor. Like the main factor there is just, holy crap, a bomb was dropped by the Japanese government on Japanese soil, and they destroyed a lot of buildings around it. The fact that Souboutei is still standing is like, it's not the main issue there. It's just like an after effect. Even if Souboutei were to try to erase people's memories of it, they would they would still remember the explosion. And then every time, like, oh, that might even explain why like so many groups were worked up about like things that aren't Souboutei. It's possible that the house is already trying to fight back mentally, but it just can't, because anyone truly affected by it is like, well, you bombed it. This part of Japan was bombed. Why are they bombed? Oh yeah, Souboutei. Like it's a constant reoccurring loop now. Where like if anyone tries to forget about it, they're going to remember, not because of Soboutei's scariness or like not because of its supernatural aspect, but because of the bombing. That is a good idea. Like if anyone disappears within Souboutei itself, it's possible that they stay in there as its servants. The airplane, however, is a strange. That's something I don't quite understand yet. Because as far as we know, the plane wasn't gonna like crash into Souboutei or anything. Like my theory is that it was just flying above it, and that's when it disappeared. But that doesn't seem quite right either. Like at no point did they ever mention that the plane was connected to Souboutei at all. It was just that it disappeared, right? I really do like this though. Like just this wave showing how many people wanted to leave immediately, and even this person seems to be sweating quite a bit. Like I assume those are sweat drops. Those they could just be like little details you can't quite see. But I love that visual of just lights go off when the place is completely packed. By the time they turn the lights back on, so many people have disappeared. What a strange collection of people. Of course, you'd have to be strange to leave after seeing all of that, or you'd have to be strange to stay around, not to leave. This is true though. Not really by myself. You know, I'm sure that when he finally says this, it's going to be like a big, impactful moment, but I genuinely don't think at this point that she would like blame him for it, because he didn't know. He honestly didn't know. And even Rokuro himself does not blame him for it. So if he confesses when Rokuro is there, if he says sorry to Rokuro specifically, then I think it'll be okay, because Rokuro can like legitimately say again. I mean, he already said it once, but he could just say it again, like, "Hey, it wasn't your fault. I went in. It was my fault." Like, regardless of whether you believe that or not, I think that is like, it's not good that he's putting the blame on himself, but I do like that he's not like trying to push the blame onto someone else. Oh, okay, that's the end. So that is Souboutei. Oh my gosh, the series has completely gripped me. And from what I understand, it only gets better from here, so I'm not letting go of it. Oh boy. Uh, I think I've said all my predictions already. Like, I'm starting to realize, in general, there's not a whole lot of series where I have a lot of predictions at the end of my reaction, or like I don't have a lot of discussion because I kind of discuss things as they come up. I think it is a fantastic series, though, like in terms of both writing and just writing, tone, and then just visuals. The visuals are fantastic, and like we haven't even got anything super crazy yet. Just what we've seen so far has been super well executed, though. So I'm super, super duper excited to keep on reading it. Man, what a series! I want to say something else about it, but like I don't have anything to say, so I guess I'll just cut it off there. That was Souboutei. Stick around, and eventually I'll read more Souboutei when more Souboutei comes out. I'm not going to join the group though. Redrawing is horrible. Bye for now. Yeah, yeah.